everyone. I'm Elaine Quijano. It's good to be with you. Thanks for joining us. There are significant developments regarding allegations that the Russian government paid Taliban-linked militants bounties to kill American troops. A senior Afghan official confirmed to CBS News that the reports were not only true, but the Russian government achieved some success with their plans. Intelligence chiefs spent the day on Capitol Hill briefing top congressional leaders. It's the highest level briefing lawmakers have received so far. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi accused the White House of putting on a, quote, con following her briefing with other top lawmakers known as the Gang of Eight.
You got the con. The White House put on a con that if you don't have 100% consensus on intelligence, that it shouldn't rise to a certain level. But what is important is the president's relationship with Russia. This is at the same time as the White House was aware of this threat to the security of our men and women in uniform. The president was still flirting with the idea of having Russia be part of the G8 in total opposition to the wishes of the other members of the G8.
Olivia Gazis joins me now. She's our CBS News intelligence and national security reporter. Good to see you again, Olivia. So which lawmakers were briefed today and by whom?
So, Elaine, today was about the top level of intelligence briefing that you can expect as a lawmaker. The Gang of Eight is a very small, select group of lawmakers who have access to the most sensitive intelligence that the government has. That's both true for the collection side of things, what we manage as a government to collect, and any actions that the government decides to take in an operational sense. It's comprised of the leadership of the Senate and the House of both parties, so the Senate Majority Leader and Minority Leader, the Speaker of the House and the Minority Leader, and then the ranking and the chairs and ranking members of the intelligence committees. We know that that small group heard today from the CIA director, the director of the NSA, and the director of national intelligence, and there may have been an analytical team in the room inside to fill in the details. And while you wouldn't expect this group, any member of it, to sort of exit the sensitive compartment where they are undergoing the briefing and say, here's exactly what I heard, I think you can read into a little bit based on what you heard from at least the Democrats today, which is that they got a more fulsome picture from these higher-ranking principles of the intelligence that underlie this assessment, and really their only top line was, one, American troops deserve the full attention of the president, and two, Russia, to the extent it poses a threat to troops in any region, deserves to be met with a robust response.
So the White House says that President Trump was not briefed on this intelligence because it was not verified. How significant is it that lawmakers are now receiving briefings from intelligence chiefs?
Right. So verified, I will just say, is not a word that has a whole lot of currency in the intelligence community per se. You can have low, medium, or high confidence levels in intelligence. You can have it corroborated in a limited sense, but there's really no such thing as verification. Intelligence necessarily operates in shades of gray, and once you get to verification, then, as General Hayden used to say, it becomes a fact. I think the reason that you're seeing more of a push from lawmakers for more information is that you've seen details of the intelligence spilled out into the public, and you've seen questions raised about the policy response or lack thereof that they want to know more about. So the fact that we are hearing from press reports about what some of the intelligence indicated, there's a potential mismatch between what it indicated and what our response has been. So that's what you are seeing now, not only Democrats, but Republicans also saying that this seems to have been, if true, a very serious escalation on the part of the Russians, and we need to, as a country, determine how the Russians should be responded to if indeed they were offering these bounties on the heads of American troops.
So, Olivia, what are your sources in the intelligence community saying about the fact that these details are being reported in this very public way? What are they saying about the information itself?
Right. It may be helpful to take a step back from the original story. You know, we have since confirmed here at CBS News that elements of this intelligence did raise to the highest levels. That is the president's daily brief. At least a written item appeared in the briefing materials of the president. We confirmed today that, in fact, an Afghan official told us that this program did exist. We've had other reporting that there were financial transactions that the intelligence community was tracking, which is a very serious type of evidence that we would have gotten our hands on. And we've also seen some reporting about a so-called middleman, an Afghan citizen who may have been acting as the sort of courier of Russian funds to Taliban-linked militia. The sources, they're mostly former intelligence sources that I've spoken to who are at liberty to talk about this in detail, are pretty surprised at the level of detail that is being put out into the open. It has significant operational significance. It will affect the way that intelligence officers and military officers can do their jobs on the ground, and it may have implications for future collection. It makes them wonder what the motivation for the leak might be. Anyone can speculate as to what that might be. It could be concerns about our interactions with Russia. It could be our concerns related to our reactions with the Taliban. It could be a cry for attention. The main thing is this is a whole lot of detail that is spilling out into the open that has real implications operationally and from a collection perspective.
All right, Olivia Gazis for us reporting there.